And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much. Your subscriptions mean the world to me. This is the January 2021 forecast for the sign of Sagittarius. So if you have a sun, moon, or rising in the sign of Sagittarius, you may want to watch this video. It might give you insight into what type of a January is going to be going on for you. If you have heavily placed planets in Sagittarius, which I would consider 3 or more as heavily placed, you would also want to watch this. So like, you know, if you're Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto are in Sagittarius, you better watch this video. All right, so this is a broad spectrum reading intended for a lot of different people that could be watching it at any given time. So keeping that in mind, you are going to have to figure out where it best fits in your life. If it does not make any sense at all or just doesn't seem to resonate, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. If it does make sense or it does fit, like if I'm talking about stuff that makes sense in your life, know that any decisions you make in your personal life are yours, are solely your responsibility. So keeping that in mind, always use your own intelligence and intuition first and foremost, and never take anything that I say over the advice or suggestions of a professional in their field, like a lawyer, a doctor, a therapist. Always listen to them first and foremost. All right, so let's get into this and see what we've got going on for January for the Sages. This first card is from a deck called Divine Guidance Oracle card. It's a more abstract deck, but I will be reading the definition for you. This is what I call sort of like the signifier or the guide card for the month. So it might give us an idea or a principle that we want to look at, or maybe a theme for the month of January for the Sages, but we'll see what comes out. What do my Sages need to know? Okay, we have card 44. Master number, Sag, get it. Good card to have. 44 is exactly that. It's a master number. It doesn't need to be changed. I would, if you want to know the meaning of 44, I would definitely Google it. I don't know it offhand, but I will just say that it is a beautiful numbered card to have. When I look at this, it feels like, it's interesting. We have this swirling bit of color, and I should explain this too. The way I've been working with this deck is I've just sort of been describing what feelings this art invokes in me, or whatever it makes me think about, whatever I reflect upon, and then I'll read the actual definition. You can choose whichever rendition of the cards meaning that you want to for your month of January, or you can blend the two together. Now, what I am going to say here is this swirl that's going on around this. We have this internal light, and to me, this internal light feels like Sag. It also being 44 speaks to this idea of mastery, right? It being a master number. I feel like January could be a powerful month for the Sagittarians to learn about their truth. And the reason why I say that is this light here at the center. There might be a lot unfolding and going on around you at this time. I know that we just escaped or left Sag season, but there could be a lot moving. To me, I feel like there's a lot of movement happening in this design. There could be a lot moving and going on around us, maybe even change for some of the Sages. But the truth that resides here in the center is bright, it's pure, it's powerful, right? And that to me ties into that master number of 44. Like it feels like whatever our truth is going to be key or important. We need to shine a light on it, hold true to it, stay focused on it, allow it to be our guide. So let's read 44 and see what it has to say. 44 is actually the last card of this deck, which is kind of cool. You guys are the we had, who was it? Leo had the first card of this deck in the previous reading I just did. Sag, you guys are getting the last card of the deck. So 44 is divine guidance. Beautiful soul. You play a very important role in the awakening of the awakening of the planet. Your light is so needed here. You are always wrapped in the loving embrace of the divine. It is in those times when your tears may fall or when you feel most alone that your angels and guides are with you the most, shining their light and love on you. Not for one moment should you doubt this. You, special soul, are being lovingly guided and supported on your path. Divine guidance is leading you gently. Look for the signs, feel the love and know that you are supported always. Again, the signs and the love to me, I feel like this truth, this light in the center is my Sag or is the Sages. You guys listen to that light within you no matter what's swirling around you. I don't get a feeling that this is bad stuff. I get a feeling that this is maybe just sort of life stuff going on around you. It could, like I said, indicate change. But that truth in the center there, that light that is truly you, will be the beacon, will be the guide, will be whatever carries you through this month. And I do think that the number 44 is benefic or a blessing in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so there could be an opportunity for mastery, a truth to be told, a brightness, a light to shine from within you that guides you to wherever it is that you need to be to feel the mastery of that number 44. So now let's go to the tarot and see what these cards have to say to my Sages. Also, for anybody else that's watching, on behalf of Sag, if you have a different sign, all the other signs are up, not only for the month of January, but the year long are also up on the YouTube page. So feel free to look at those if you'd like. And one more for good measure. Okay, Sag. So now this first card is where you guys are centered at for the month of January. It's not where you will be the complete and total month, but you'll be going in and out of this card throughout the month. It gives me a little insight into what not only are you potentially creating, but what you could be, where you're at, but what you could potentially be creating for the future. All right, so this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a beautiful, beautiful center. This is about where we focus our energy and what we get back. And it's funny because we see this spinning too, similar to the Wheel of Fortune, how the Wheel of Fortune spins. When I think about the Wheel of Fortune is always about sort of what we choose to focus on is kind of what we're going to get back. What we just decide to put into something is sort of what we will get back. Major Arcana, this being your center, I feel like wherever Sag's focus is this month is going to be important. It's going to make a difference. You want to be aware of what you're focusing on, how you're focusing on it, what energy you're putting into it. Similar to this sort of the truth or the purity that I see in this light in the center here of this 44 card is like, if you're not paying attention, if you're not being sort of assertive is not the right word, but like incalculated isn't the right word either. It's like aware of what you're doing. I feel like you could be making a mistake in the sense that you're not utilizing the opportunities that are available to you in the month of January to the best of your ability. Does that make sense? Because the wheel says to me, even though it moves slowly and it may not feel like a lot is changing at this time, whatever you're focused on, whatever you're doing, whatever it is you're working your way towards, you're adding more into that, right? You're adding more into the wheel towards that outcome. And that can be either positive or negative, right? So we want to make sure that we're working towards the positive and what it is we desire versus, you know, more of what it is that we don't, right? Does that make sense? Now, the next card is the Foundation. This is the card that sort of opened the door for everything to be the way that it is today in Sag's reading. It also is the memory of this card that can sometimes be driving everything into in the now or holding everything in place, the memory of this card. So this is the Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful card. This can represent, Cups is about new beginnings. But when I look at this in the past, I feel like Ace of Cups can be about an overwhelm of emotions, good feelings, opportunities, blessings, and usually of an emotional variety, right? Cups is the sign of, or the element of water. The aces always represent new beginnings, opportunities, excitement, overflow, abundance, that sort of a thing. When I look at this as the Foundation, and I look at this idea of, I'm going to read the name of this card again. What was it called? Sorry, number 44, which is that master number. Divine guidance. When I look at this Ace of Cups in the foundation, it feels like there was something that we maybe touched base with that felt very, very right in the past. And I feel like the wheel slows that down, is the best way to describe it. I feel like we need to wake up. Oh God, we need to wake up and realize that we are being guided towards something better. And if we're not paying attention to where we're taking ourselves or where we're being guided, we could go, I don't want to say the wrong route, but we could be missing an opportunity here. The Ace of Cups being the foundation card, also, if this is a mitigating factor, like if this is something that's pushing us forward, we need to be responsive to our emotions. We need to be responsive to what feels right, what feels like it's in the flow, what feels like it's working with everything that's going on around us, right? This Ace of Cups to me speaks to a period where we were more connected, we felt more alive, we felt more whole, we felt like happier. There was something, there was more promise, there was more excitement. We may not have that right now, although we can create that with that wheel card in the center, but the wheel is such a slow moving energy that it doesn't feel maybe as exciting or as hopeful or as possible as this Ace of Cups. For some of you, this Ace of Cups can represent love too, in the sense of maybe feeling that kind of emotional connection or love towards another individual. And I feel like with that wheel, we may not necessarily feel like either we have it right in front of us anymore, or that we know exactly how to go about getting it, but we need to stay focused on the fact that we need to continue to work towards it in whatever way we can right now. And again, this speaks to the idea of the truth and the light that is within you, listening to that truth and that light and allowing it to like sort of be your guide, even through whatever might be swirling around you, is going to hopefully propel you forward and produce the results that you want. Both of these cards here, the wheel and the Ace of Cups, are positive and beneficial cards, right? But I just sort of feel like the message here is to stay in tune to your emotions, stay in tune to what feels right, stay in tune to wherever you felt more stimulated, right? That Ace of Cups to me also feels about like not only emotional excitement, but all of those lotus blossoms. Like, was there a period in your life where you felt more connected and more maybe even spiritually open, aware, available? That's what you kind of want to get to. That's what you should be. I should not say should. That's what you want to be focused on in the month of January to move you forward towards something better. And know that this January, even if it doesn't feel like it, or it feels like it's moving slow or sluggish, that's the wheel's energy. But stay focused on that positive and keep allowing this Ace of Cups energy to propel you further. The desire of whatever this is that you had in the past that you no longer have now. Now, the higher self card, this is what your spirit or your soul wants for you, what is above you, what it wants you to focus on during this time. And this is the World. So this is funny because I feel like, was it Aries? Aries had the World in the center and the wheel in their higher self, I believe. So these are swapped for Aries. But again, major arcana, the World is all about achievements, things being successful, things coming to an understanding or an awareness of where we fit into our world and being completely okay with that. Feeling like sort of okay with the work that we put in, the lessons that we've learned, the way that we've handled it, the way that we've done things, understanding that we can sort of trust ourselves, that we can receive the gifts that we've been given. It's the end of the fool's journey, right? There's a completion here with the World. It can sometimes be completions and new beginnings too, but it's in a rather impactful and powerful way. These three cards together, coupled with this divine guidance card, says that this month could be a rather significant month for you guys. If you're paying attention and you're listening and you're following those sort of those inspirations, right, that come from within you, the truth that is within you, the light that resides within you, the desire that is within you, the emotions that are within you. Don't like necessarily fear them or run from them. Pursue them, even if you feel as though maybe the rest of the world might be standing in your way, or moving at a pace not as quickly as you would like, right? Now, the next two cards are the outside influences. These are things that could be affecting us either positively or negatively. They can be things more vague, like they can be things like people or belief system. Sorry, I'm all over the place. They can be things like people or events that are affecting us, or things more vague like belief systems or energies that are having an effect on us. So what is the Seven of Cups? This is water energy. Seven of Cups is confusion, an inability to make a decision, having one too many options at hand, feeling a little bit not sure about what one wants or how one needs to go about getting it, feeling like there's maybe too many potential outcomes being presented. If my Sages are overthinking things, this would be that Seven of Cups energy. There can be a fearfulness about choosing the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. That would also speak to the sort of, I feel like the wheel is a beneficial card, but the wheel is always a reminder that what we're focused on and what we're doing is what we're going to manifest more of, kind of, in a way. So if we're looking at this state of confusion, or we're feeling confused by the options that are being presented to us this month, we're kind of unable to put anything into our wheel other than, say, indecision, or not making a choice, not taking a stance, not moving on, whatever this was that was in the past pretty fucking clear as to what you wanted. And I feel like the World card to me speaks to our spirit wanting us to have everything that we desire, but are we brave enough to sort of take it, is kind of the feeling that I get. Let's look at the other outside influence. So this is the Seven of Pentacles. So we have dual sevens on either side. Seven of Pentacles, to me, it's not a bad card. It's usually about hard work and sort of working our way towards what it is that we want through, like, dealing with, like doing all of sort of the detail work and everything, and reviewing it, double checking it. Let me just look at this for a minute. Like, I almost want to say, I don't know if Sag trusts themselves. The Seven of Cups definitely speaks to this idea of confusion. And the Seven of Pentacles feels like we're like reviewing our work, what we've put in, the decisions we've made. Were they the right decisions? Are they going to bring us the goals that we want? Will they produce the opportunities or the things that we thought that we should have? I feel like neither of these sevens are bringing us a clear answer. And part of the reason why I feel that is the case is because we are to find this mastery and trust the light that is within us. We are to trust sort of whatever this Ace of Cups energy is that we had in the past, or that we were connected to in the past. We're not, like, it sort of feels like it's almost like the outside influences are saying, okay, if you want this, you have to fully commit to it and make the decision yourself. We're not making the decision for you. And that's kind of like also the grandness that I feel like from that World card in the spirit spaces. It's like our spirit wants us even to step forward into our power and go, okay, this is what I want. This is how I want it, and I'm going to go after it. Then we can start to put those things into the wheel. But right now the wheel is moving slow because our outside influence is not, they're not giving us the signals that we're expecting. We're still sort of trying to define it's almost like I look at these cards and I feel like maybe Sagittarians are still trying to define what they should do by what they're receiving from the outside world. And it's almost like they're going about it backwards. When I look at that wheel in the center, the world and the higher self, and the Ace of Cups as the driving force, you guys need to be pursuing and chasing actively what feels right and what is good and what brings you the most happiness, not expecting the universe to provide it for you. if that makes sense. These sevens are just too up in the air. Also remember, sevens represent conscious choices, right? We have to sort of stand up in our own and make our choice and then live with those choices. And I think that's this sort of the energy that's getting is like Sag isn't necessarily getting the clear signals from the outside universe that yes, this indeed is what you need. This is indeed the correct choice. This is indeed the hard work that you put in. This is the reward that you get. No, like to me, when I'm looking at this is about trusting ourselves, our own light, no matter what's going on in the world around us, gaining mastery over that and going after it with an abandon. Like it's like almost like I feel like this is the month, January is the month for Sag to kind of stand in their power and say, no, universe, this is what I want, and then go after it. And that clears away the ambiguity that I feel like is in both of these seven energies that isn't quite giving us the clear enough go ahead that it's like the clear go ahead is here, not here and here. That's the best way I can describe this. All right, the next card is the potential outcomes card. This card tells me sort of where things are going to end up for the majority of the Sagittarius, barring that nothing major changes. If this is a negative card, you can take it as a warning and use it as a warning and make choices through free will to affect changes in your life, so this card does not come to pass. But if this card is a positive, you can take heart in the fact that you're naturally heading towards it and that it will make its way to you by month's end. So let's see what this is. This is the 10 of Swords. Okay, Sag. So struggle bus much? Swords is the element of air, which is complementary to the fire sign of Sag. But I will say this, Swords is usually especially the 10 of Swords, it is about the completion of something, the completion of some sort of limiting thoughts, the completion of some sort of struggle, some sort of fight, something that we've been resisting or trying to hold on to that has not been working for us, that is not working for us, that will not work for us, and we know it. If we continue on with it or if we struggle with it, it just becomes a burden and we need to sort of let it go. We need to move on to something different. I just get a feeling that because these sevens are in the outside influence, like, oh, there's a bird on my windowsill. Hi. Because these sevens are outside of us, they're not giving us the clear, defined answer or response or affirmation, right, from the outside environment that, like, oh, indeed, Sag is on the right path. No, this is not about Sag getting that outside confirmation to continue to move forward. This is about Sag having to reach out and grab it and take it, is my feeling. And that 10 of Swords to me, yes, it indicates the end of a chapter and end of a situation by month's end in January, and that could be possible. But it could also indicate that you guys are still struggling with something that is holding you back. And that's the slowness that I feel in the wheel. To me, this truth or this divine guidance, we need to listen to that this month. And if we're trading that for like sort of the outside environment to give us, you know, the affirmative or the go ahead or the, oh yeah, this is good and it's happening in my life, so I must be on the right path. That's not the message that I'm getting from these cards. These cards say to me that they're not going to give you, it's not going to be bad. The 7 of Cups is a bit of confusion, and the 7 of Pentacles is like, you know, yes, hard work and some reward, but not totally affirmative to like, oh yes, this is indeed the right thing I should be doing. It almost feels like it's like, okay, Sag, we want you to make a choice. What are you putting into your wheel? Do you want the world? Do you want that Ace of Cups feeling back, or do you want to stay stuck in your mind and in the trappings of this 10 of Swords? That's kind of the feeling that I get. It has, like when I look at these cards, these 3 cards here are extremely beneficial through your center. And this is extremely beneficial with a mastery number on it, which means that there is an opportunity here to gain mastery and understanding. That would be the closing of the chapter of the 10 of Swords to the releasing of whatever's causing you pain, burden, heartache, mental anxiety, whatever. If you're able to walk away from that by month's end in January, that's a beautiful thing. But I get this distinct feeling with that wheel in the center and that 10 of Swords that some of you might stay stuck a little bit longer. I don't know. It's hard to say. That is your forecast, Sag. I hope it makes sense. Remember, the yearlies are also up. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. Share it with other Sagittarius that may be able to use it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next month. Have a great January. All right, take care. Bye-bye.